Started from the bottom, all I had was a dream. Always been alone, never really had a team. Cause the loyalty is suspect, nothing's what it seems. As I'm counting all this money, thinking how to make it clean. Never been broke, see I always had a job. And before I learned to hustle, I was taught how to rob. Nice with the hands, but I'm iller with the shot. Battling depression cause it's lonely at the top. Drinking all this Henny just to try and ease the pain. Though I never had regrets, there's some things that I wouldn't do the same. I would never change for some change, and I never let the sneak distance take me out my game. I'm a grown man. Unless it's for my kids, I don't hold hands. Cause they hate it when you focused on your own plans. So I gamble with my money, I don't gamble with my life in the street. Cause you only get one bottle of that Henny and I mix it with some Red Bull. Got a couple pills that I'm popping for the pain.
What's going on? My name is Marcus Whitley, and yes, this is Good Behavior. Now, this is another work release episode where I get to travel outside of the studio and interview different guests. And today in this episode, I have a special guest with me by the name of Angel, who is also involved in the streets like I was. Would you want to say hi to the viewers and let them know a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Angel. How y'all doing? I'm originally from the Bronx, New York City.
Okay.
Born and raised in El Barrio, Spanish Harlem. But then my family moved at the age of 10. I moved to the Bronx from Manhattan. And that's where my journey began.
Okay. So, how did you get involved in the streets?
The first thing, when I moved to the Bronx, Vice Avenue, that's the East Bronx, if I'm correct. I went outside to make friends. I was only 10 years old, and I was surrounded by the street gang, the neighborhood gang, and I was jumped in. Without my permission, I was jumped in. And that's how I became part of the streets. At the time, I was only 10. I was scared. And so I said, I'd rather join them than, if you can't beat them, join them.
Right.
So that's how that happened.
So when you said without your permission, did they just randomly jump you one day and then be like, all right, now you're a part of us?
Yes, they surrounded me. They made a circle. And I tried to explain to them that I think they got the wrong guy. But they weren't trying to hear it. They explained to me, and that's putting it politely, that I live in that neighborhood now, and either I'm part of or I get what's coming to me. And I said I'd rather be part of than get what's coming to me.
I mean, that's got to be a scary thing at 10 years old.
It was scary and it was overwhelming. And they proceeded to beat me down. And when they did, I mean, I got up. I was pretty badly bruised. And they just told me I'm in. And I didn't argue with them. I was too frightened. I was too scared.
So you were never looking to be involved in the streets, so it just happened to you?
Yes.
So you were kind of forced into it?
Yes.
Okay. And then on top of being in the streets, did you become used to it and start to like it, or were you looking for an out the whole time?
No, I wasn't. Actually, I was a good kid, turned bad, and from a bad kid turned worse. And what I mean by that is that at first, I was like telling myself, even at that age, that wasn't me. You know, I don't want to do this. But as time went by, things progressed, and I became one of them. My mannerisms, my lingo, my swag, you know, so that's what happened, you know.
Now, I want you to let the viewers know about what it was like being shot and stabbed and how that affected your life, because that's something serious and some people don't survive from that. Okay,
well, the shots, I was shot in 2 separate incidents by 2 different individuals, and the stabbing was another individual. So it was 3 incidents. And how I felt, of course, I was in shock all 3 times. The first one, where I got shot in the back, I tried to run and he shot me in the back. But he shot me in the shoulder. I still have the bullet wound, not the bullet. The bullet was removed, and he didn't continue. He just saw me go down, and he figured he got me, which he did, but I wasn't killed, thank God. The second time they shot me in the stomach, I think he meant, and by a bigger caliber gun, larger caliber. And that one, it wasn't painful, but after like a good 30, 40 seconds, you feel like a burning sensation. And again, I was shocked at that one too, and I threw myself. When I went down, I laid there like I was dead, hoping that he didn't hover over me like they usually do and finish the job, which he didn't. And then the stabbing was a fight I got into, and I was getting the better of the kid, and he whipped out a knife and he tried to stab me in my neck, and I blocked it. And by blocking it, I got stabbed twice. We call it jigging. He jigged me twice, and I got 30-something stitches in all. And I don't know how I managed to take the knife away from him and proceeded to defend myself. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, that was, I mean, the adrenaline takes over, and
Yes.
you're fighting for your life in that moment.
Yeah.
Now, when you got shot in the stomach, what was that like with the surgery process? Did you have one of the bags that you had to use the bathroom in, and was it something like that really did it mess up your
Colonoscopy
insides?
bag.
Yeah.
No, I didn't have to use a bag, but I was in surgery for like 8 hours. And then the ICU, I think they call it, you know, the recovering process was kind of hard. And it was harder for me because I couldn't accept what happened, and I was angry.
Yeah.
And my first thoughts was, when I get out of here, I'm going to get even. So, and I don't think that helped in the healing process.
Yeah. So after that happened, like, that didn't scare you and make you want to get out of the streets. That made you want to retaliate.
Yes. That's exactly what my thoughts were then.
So you weren't really giving yourself a chance to mentally and physically recover. You were just focused on what you wanted to do.
That is correct.
All right. So after the recovery process did finally happen, did you feel like, did your mindset change? Or did you still feel like you were angry at them, or were you able to forgive and want to move on with your life?
No, I was so entrenched with the lifestyle. By then, I was making money. Again, I don't want to elaborate too much on that, but I was entrenched in the streets, and my thought process was getting even and taking control again of certain situations that I know now were out of my control. But that was my thought process then. I keep saying then because now I think totally different. I wouldn't have done the way I think today. I wouldn't have done what I did in the past.
Yeah.
I would self-advocate, like, no, I'm not joining the gang or whatever. But I was 10 years old. But when I got shot the second time, the one you're talking about, I was in my 20s, and I was just an angry young man. I was angry, and all I wanted was revenge.
So how was it battling the addiction from alcohol and then being in the streets? Like, do you feel like that impaired your judgment when you were out there? Do you feel like it could have put you in tougher situations?
Yes, but I didn't know it then. Like, for instance, I didn't know I was an alcoholic because I paid my bills, I took care of my family, and a lot of people in the streets. So I wasn't aware that I was battling addiction with alcohol. So since I was paying my bills and taking care of my family, I thought it was just me, that I like to get my swirl on. I like to drink. But towards the end, I drank to get rid of, as time progressed, I drank to get rid of the withdrawals and the shakes. That's when I knew I was in trouble.
Like, I know a lot of people drink because they think it's fun on the weekends, but they don't realize how fast addiction can creep up on you. And
It
then,
progresses.
yeah, now you're stuck on it. And then other times where when you're in the streets and you're going through so many things and battling all these demons mentally, like, you feel like the liquor is a comfort.
It is. It took away what little fears I had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they call it, what is it that they say? Liquid courage.
Yeah.
So, like, after doing whatever it was that I was doing out in those streets, definitely alcohol always played a big part. And it definitely impaired my judgment. I made a lot of crucial mistakes, although then I didn't think so. But looking back, yes, I made a lot of mistakes under the influence. A lot of bad judgment calls too.
Yeah. So what made you finally decide, okay, I'm done with the streets, I'm done with the alcohol, I want to change my lifestyle? Like, what made you feel like, all right, I'm finally ready to make a change?
I think after my a bid that I did in upstate New York, I was sentenced to a 10-year sentence. I did 8.5 of that, a year and a half in parole. It was there that I started thinking. I mean, at 13 juvenile detentions, for those that don't know, Spofford was notorious juvenile detention. Then Rikers Island in my 20s. Then at 32, 33, something like that, when I did those 8.5 years, I met some men, one being a lifer, that was schooling me on certain things, telling me that I don't know what he saw in me. And this brother had 4 life consecutive sentences. He was never going to see the streets. And he took me under his wing and he spoke to me and he planted that seed. Mm-hmm. Whereas I was actually thinking, my way is not working. I thought it was because I was financially set.
Yeah.
I had everything a man can want, but I lost part of myself. You know, in the Bible it says, what causes a man to gain the world but lose his soul? And that's what happened to me. I lost myself and I lost my soul for greed. You know, so it was in prison that something finally clicked.
Okay. So is there anything else you want to let the viewers know before we go?
Only that, you know, my life has changed today. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I'm a member of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm working the steps. I'm changing my life. I'm changing everything except my name. I mean, my mannerisms, level of respect that I have for people, for my community, for myself, and for others. This way of life is so much better than the way I was living. And I hope that one of you, if not all of you, can get a grasp on this. The streets, there's nothing out there for you, man. With that, I'm done.
Well, thank you for that.
Okay.
I want to thank my special guest, Angel, for coming through and sharing his story with you guys. Now, my name is Marcus Whitley, and this is Good Behavior. So until the next episode. For more episodes and info, you can find me on all social media at I Am Marcus Whitley, and find any of my books, Both Sides of the Street, Choices and Consequences, Greatness Under Pressure, and Battling Demons, all on Amazon. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel.